Why?
For drugs.
There's horses. Yeah. Oh, he drugged the horse?
Well, his horse is tested positive. He denies it.
How do you get a horse to pee in a cup? You just hold it?
It's not hard. They piss like racehorses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they are. Well, they are.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Tominator. Tom Chericello. Welcome to another episode of the TomCast. Big Joe is here. Hey, Joe.
How you doing, Thomas?
And Molli-nator is back. Hello, Molly.
The Molli-nator is in the building, you guys.
We're getting a lot of fan mail, emails from our fans. Where is Molly at?
I just show. Well, the truth is I didn't get invited for about 3 episodes, so I'm back.
All right. Welcome back.
My pay was too high for Tominator.
Yeah, we're negotiating for handbags, something in the hallway.
Right.
Our shout out for my drink this week is Zephyr Hills water. You know, that's Florida water. It's, I guess you don't make water anywhere. It's natural, right? They bottle it in Florida. So I like Zephyr Hills water.
You would say spring water over purified water? That's spring.
Yeah, this is spring water. Which one's better?
I don't know. I typically go for purified, but a lot of people prefer spring.
I'm trying. My doctor said to drink more water and less Tito's.
Oh.
So,
how's that
how about
going?
Tito's and water?
I could have told you that.
Yeah, the 2 for 1. Put them together. That's smart.
I'll meet you halfway.
Tominator had a beer the other day. I thought hell was freezing over with this beer, and then I found out they didn't serve Tito's.
I like a beer once in a while, especially when it's real hot. You know, you're outside like golfing and it's hot.
If I'm a little bit too overboard with the drinks, a nice beer will set the scene.
And I can drink those Michelob's.
I'll drink beer for a while.
Right.
Then, see, I'll just I go with beer first, and then I'll get into the other stuff.
Oh, do you? Yeah, they say beer before liquor makes you sicker. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
I don't know. I've been doing it for so long. I don't think it matters.
Joe is not getting sick.
I get sick regardless, so I can't handle it.
Although I got to admit, I've thrown up maybe more this year than I ever have in my whole life.
I haven't thrown up since college, and I went a little overboard a couple weekends ago, and it was not. I was like, never again.
I've been getting a little too sick lately.
Right.
We got a lot to cover this week.
Ooh.
First, we mentioned last week, they're going to be electing a new pope. For those who don't know, the pope is the head of the Roman Catholic Church, 1.3 billion Roman Catholics in the world. There's a whole process for electing a pope. Like they have what they call the College of Cardinals. Cardinals are the next highest ranking officials in the church after the pope. So there are 252 cardinals, but only 135 are allowed to vote for the new pope.
Why is that?
They limit it.
Oh, I started looking into all of this because now it's all over.
Why
about how they
have
pick.
seniority of the Cardinals?
So, yeah.
It is such a
135
process.
are senior Cardinals.
So that makes sense. That's how they pick them. Hey, you've been here the longest. The young ones go away for now until it's your turn and the next one dies.
I think so.
Is it always an old person, or was Pope Francis young when he first came into this situation?
I don't think there have been too many young popes.
Right.
No.
They're typically
I think they're
well-traveled,
80 on up.
seasoned individuals when they
I don't think there's
come
ever
into
been one
office.
in his 70s.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, they can't have them stick around too long, I guess.
Now, I wonder, like, if there's, like, is there behind the scenes, like,
No.
you know, like, I mean, like, one cardinal going up to other ones, hey, vote for me.
Oh,
like politicking,
right?
Campaigning.
I'm sure. I mean, do people want to be the Pope?
Oh, yeah, you're the man, yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're the man.
That's like a prestigious position.
Did you
see Sister Genevieve? She broke protocol.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't see
Apparently, they were best friends, and she broke protocol and was the only sister to stand where the cardinals usually stand to say her goodbyes, and she stood there for hours.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that sad? She was crying.
That's terrible.
Her bestie went home. It's okay.
So May 7th is the election, and they go into what they call conclave in the Sistine Chapel, and then the cardinals vote. And it could take days until they elect a new pope. And
I'd love to know the process. Are they writing the name down and putting it in a box, or what's
like
going on?
We start betting on who becomes the
Right?
vote.
Are there side bets?
Have you guys ever been on jury duty?
No.
Like, I wonder if it's
I don't
like
ever
that where you
really-
go,
I never have.
where you
In
go-
66 years, 65 years I have.
I did one when I was in college. They called me out of jury, and it was great because I got the day off. They have to pay you. You get paid.
Yeah, but they pay you like $2
$11.
an hour.
No, but my job paid me.
Oh,
I
okay.
had a
so
little
you-
college job.
You
so
don't have
so
to.
you get another $11 on top of your travel,
Right,
$11.
exactly.
I was making
Or whatever it is.
I think I was
whatever
making
the-
like $10 an hour for my job, and I got. I'm like, well, this is great, and there were some hotties on that jury too, so that was cool.
I'm convinced if I get jury duty, I'm going to get like a Casey Anthony trial, and I'm out of work for years and got to figure this out. But no, I've never.
That's hard getting paid for your job, though, when you're on jury.
You don't have to pay your employee.
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have to. So it's,
Okay.
a lot of people do.
You don't have to,
But
you're
you don't
right.
have to.
Yeah.
It's not like a law. I just found that out the other day, actually.
Yeah.
But my case was this guy. It was in New Jersey. This guy built a house for like a lot of money, really expensive home, and he had these stairs, like custom staircase, like something out of like Gone with the Wind. You know those like big, I guess mahogany staircases that are like leading up to the upstairs when you walk in the house. And he was suing the stair guy for messing up the stairs, and so the first witness was the owner of the stair company, and the guy was not. You could tell he had an accent. And he wasn't born in the U.S. And but he was really intelligent and well dressed, and he knew what he was talking about. But so then at the day ended after his testimony. So we go back in the next day, meet in the jury room before they bring us in, and everybody's like, "We don't believe that guy. You know, he was a lie." I'm thinking, what? I thought he did great. You know, and then this is before you could text or whatever. Like so. We go back in, they settled the case, and I'm thinking, if these lawyers would have known what we knew, like the stair guy was going to lose. Like they already, there was only one witness, and all the other jurors already decided, oh, that guy's a liar. We don't believe him. Like,
Right.
but it was interesting. I wish it would have went longer. Then I only got really one day, and then. But the good thing was the second day we were out of there by like 10 o'clock.
Oh, there you go. So you had the whole day to yourself.
I didn't go back to work.
Of course. I wouldn't either.
Oh, I got, yeah.
I think I went to the racetrack.
There you go.
Yeah.
Usually not. We'll talk about racing a little bit later today. So anyway, that's the reason I brought up jury duties because it's kind of maybe like the same thing where they're all the Cardinals are all sequestered, and they're discussing hey, who you going to vote for? Why should
Right.
I don't know. No one knows, I guess, unless you're a Cardinal. How that plays out, like what goes into electing a new pope. I wonder if you could. I was thinking this morning. This is sick. Can you bet on that in Vegas?
Probably. I feel like you can bet on anything in Vegas.
Odds for new pope.
The odds
you
are going to
can
be
bet on
crazy
it.
because there's so many people to choose from, no?
Yeah, it would be long odds.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be one of 100.
Might be some of those islands where you bet. What's the one? Not Aruba. What's
Costa Rica.
Yeah. We have on offshore.
I wonder if Vegas has pope
Gambles.
odds. Should we look that up?
Yeah, can I? I'll
Yeah,
look
Molly,
it
look
up.
that up. Molly's the official TomCast researcher.
Let's see.
Yeah.
What do I even look up? Can you bet on who the Pope's going to be? Can you?
That's kind of goes against it.
Yeah,
You could say that.
yeah,
But you
that-
know what? All I know is I went.
I've never heard of it. I would say not. I wonder if it comes under blasphemy.
Well, hey, they have bingo all the
Okay,
time.
the verdict's in. While there are betting markets on the next pope, according to Newsweek, it's important to understand that it's genuinely illegal to wager on elections in the United States.
All right. Okay.
Then it says there's a TikTok fantasy pope league. Lets you bet on who will become the next pope. So if you really want to get into it,
It's amazing,
out
like
there.
how much
That's
stuff is
TikTok
out there. It's amazing how many things are out there in this world that you would never dream
So
that are
on
out
TikTok,
there.
you don't collect it.
right, I guess.
We discussed it last week. The NFL draft was last Thursday. The number one pick was Cam Ward, the University of Miami quarterback.
A 0-star recruit.
And Travis Hunter went second, the Colorado two-way wide receiver and cornerback.
His fiance was there that everybody doesn't like.
Yeah, I guess she's not too well liked.
No, she got booed.
That's wrong.
To boo her?
Leave the guy's family out of it.
Well, I think if the thing that was a big thing for me is that the mom was hand in hand with her the whole time, and I just feel like she wouldn't. You know, what mom's gonna walk hand in hand with the girl if she didn't like her? So. Yeah. Mind your own, people. That's what I think. Everybody needs to mind their own.
I concur.
Right?
See, I sound like a lawyer.
I concur.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders, a lot of people thought he would be the number 1 pick, went in the 5th round.
But did a lot of people actually
he went
think
149th or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was 144.
Because I'm really no major sports person. I don't know a lot of stuff, but I could have told you he wasn't going number 1.
Well, ESPN has a draft expert going back to like 1975, Mel Kiper Jr. That's what he does.
Well, Kiper better get a new job.
He picked him to go number 1, and he's going nuts. If you watch this is crazy. These teams don't know what they're doing. I mean, he's like in meltdown mode.
Yeah, because
and then he's like, the NFL has been making stupid draft picks for 50
lose
years.
His job.
I don't know if he cares anymore. He's
right.
probably got tons of money. And he also not only is he on ESPN for the draft, but he has publishes draft newsletter.
Like another
and stuff.
Stephen A.
These guys do pretty. There's big money in that stuff. Like I was saying last week, Molly, maybe we should just make this only strictly a sports podcast,
right?
Like Pat McAfee, watch out, we're coming.
I know.
God.
I still am convinced that I could kick.
Yeah, Gronkowski.
That
I think he paid.
I want to do it so
15
bad.
minutes. Gronkowski's on there and made $1 million. McAfee.
We were talking about because so much of it is sports betting. We know a lot about that.
I could bring
I think
the
I
drama.
probably know more about sports betting than any as much as anyone you could get.
Yeah.
You guys could talk about the sports betting, and I'll let you know about all the wives and girlfriends and the
that's
drama.
right.
Well, the big thing that I've been on with my TikTok is Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend Jordan. And I guess he just did this interview, and she sat
Sunday morning.
Yeah, and she sat on the side and was just like, "Nope, don't talk about that. Nope, nope, nope." And it was a huge thing. And then
she was
everybody's
really
she meant
nasty.
business.
It wasn't laughing. I mean, she was like, "We don't talk about that."
Right. And then everybody's saying that he should file for elder abuse. But I don't think he's old enough to not know what the hell is going on. But to have dementia? No.
The thing is, what money is he going to get from her?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. She might have money.
I'm going to go with probably not. But if they're happy, who the fuck cares is all I got to say.
I guess he's well, her birthday, he already had his birthday this year. Right now he's 49 years older than her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the comment on that.
73.
It's not me, so why do I care, right?
Holy shit.
Bill is looks like he's having fun though. Now she's with him down in North Carolina. He's coaching University of North Carolina. He took a college coaching job, and he's never coached in college. Bill was in the NFL as an assistant and then head coach.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see. It's a different
curious
thing.
myself.
There are some coaches that were great in college and went to the NFL
And failed.
Failed, and vice versa.
Right.
Some NFL coaches that just couldn't deal with these younger kids.
I feel like he's the type that can't deal with the younger kids, so we'll see what happens.
He deals with one.
But he's
Yeah.
Tom, that was good. Wow.
It was no problem.
It was pretty good.
I guess you're right.
So we'll see what happens with that. Shout out to Bill Belichick. Maybe invite. We'll give you free airfare, hotel, and Hooters wings for you and Jordan.
And a Gatorade.
And Jordan can sit in the corner and tell you that you can't talk about stuff.
And Freaks in the Bistro, movie trivia.
And he can come bowling with me because I have about enough passes to go for life. Right.
I'll have to buy them off you. We'll have Tominator bowling.
I know, right? Then we can just use them. They expire in a couple months. There's an expiration date on my bowling passes. So we got to go, guys. Can't use it on Saturdays either because I got it off Groupon. That was the whole thing, too.
That's the catch.
Yeah.
All right. One of the big events this week is this Saturday is the Kentucky Derby, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. It's always held on the first Saturday in May, so that could be the first, second, third.
Okay.
It starts. They keep making it later for TV. It starts at 6:57. The race goes off, so it's basically Saturday night. It's still daylight out, obviously, in Kentucky. They call it the Run for the Roses because the winning horse gets straight with the bed of roses.
Oh.
It's horse racing was huge when I was a kid in the country, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s even. It's a dying sport. You know, there are a lot of animal rights people that think, hey, this is cruel what you're doing to these horses. And people, you know, it used to be you can only gamble on horse racing, but now lottery came in and now casinos, and people don't really want to go bet on horses. They'd rather go to a nice casino than a dingy racetrack.
Right.
But it is, the Kentucky Derby is like what they call like a slice of Americana. It's just an event. Like if you can look it up, Molly, like the women wear their Kentucky Derby hats. Like they wear these big floppy hats.
Oh, I know. It's my dream to go.
And these floral dresses. It is a great event. I think it's something, it's expensive. Like not the average person can't afford to go there, but if you're able to go to it one time.
What did Tony and
What's
Stacey
your
pay?
estimate on if I wanted to go to the Kentucky Derby? What is my flights?
They raise the prices of everything. Like your hotel
sure.
room is probably going to be like, you know, depending on where you stay, like $1,000 a night. But you're only staying for a couple nights.
Right.
I would say you probably you're looking at least at least 5,000.
Really? I can figure that out.
And you got to buy your dress, floral dress, and your floppy hat.
Yep.
That's probably another 5,000.
Tominator Law
You're up
should
at 10,000.
sponsor. Tominator Law should sponsor.
$10,000.
I'm not
Molly
licensed.
going to
I'm
the
not in
Kentucky
Kentucky,
Derby.
but I do work with a Kentucky attorney. Shout out to my buddy Rick Hessig, and he could probably hook me up with a place to stay, you know, or something. Yeah. I'll have to give Rick a call.
Yeah.
Give Rick a call, all right? And tell him the Molli-nator's got to come.
So some traditions, I mentioned the clothes, but the drink is a mint julep, is the drink of the Kentucky Derby.
I'm assuming it's minty.
It's got bourbon, sugar water, crushed ice, and mint.
That's not my thing.
Yeah, it's not a drink that I would normally have. Yeah. They even have bourbon has become really, in like the last, I would say, 10, 15 years, bourbon has become really popular. Like a lot of wealthy people, like
really
high-end bourbons, and collectors collect certain bourbons, and like you can get the highest.
Tony could tell you
what
what
the
it
highest
costs
drink,
him.
the most expensive mint julep at the Kentucky Derby. Guess how much?
$250.
$300
$1,000.
for one drink.
Yeah, for one drink. It has to be the special bourbon.
I would fly home, make a drink at home, and take it back to the Kentucky Derby before I bought a $1,000 drink from them. I'm not even kidding you.
I can't imagine paying it.
I want to go to the U.S. Open and get a honey deuce. You ever heard about those?
No.
It's like a fruity drink. It has Grey Goose.
Are you talking about US Open tennis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a picture of friends that went. And
yeah, and they have honey deuce, and they melon bowl.
Oh, okay.
And it's the purple stuff that tastes like raspberry and Grey Goose and seltzer water and Prosecco, and they ball up
Sloan
honeydew to look like tennis balls.
Sloan and Collie went, right?
Yeah, I think that's...
She did?
They go every year. And I think this is what you're
I
talking
am friends
about.
with the wrong people, you guys. I need to
Collie's
go.
husband owns like 7 or 8 Hooters, right? So he just pays for the tickets.
I don't know. I don't know what they do, but I know they sent me a picture. These are probably the drinks you're talking about.
100%. Those drinks are $22 per drink.
Is that it?
Correct. That's the one. I want a honey deuce.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good seats, too.
Yeah, they had really good. Those are expensive seats.
It's
Yeah.
funny, when I played tennis, I could have gone there like 4 times. I never really gave a shit about going.
Really? Oh, I want to go.
Even the Newport Hall of Fame, I made more money scalping tickets.
I'd rather go to the
I was
Kentucky
always on the
Derby,
Yeah.
but I do want to go to
I
that.
have been to the U.S. Open when I lived up there, and
Really?
I think they changed the format. They used to have what they called Super Saturday.
Yeah.
Was the women's final and the men's semis. I think now the men's semis are on Friday.
Yeah, Friday, because then the men will play, it's Friday, because the men, they want a day off, and then they'll play on Sunday.
Gotcha.
And the woman will be Thursday and Saturday.
But,
They get...
And I liked going to the early round matches because you go to what they call the outer courts.
Yeah.
Like, so you weren't...
Yeah, you
get
weren't
a better seat.
jammed up. Yeah. It's more relaxed.
No, I recommend that.
Yeah. You don't want to go to the late. You really want to go to the quarterfinals is where you want to go.
Gotcha.
You're seeing the better players, but you're not relegated.
$1,000.
Either round of 16 or quarterfinals, but probably quarterfinals.
The Kentucky Derby, if you want to call it theme song, is they sing "My Old Kentucky Home." Is the state song of Kentucky before the horses come out, and the guy who wrote it was named Stephen Foster, who was a famous songwriter in the 1800s. Wrote a lot of like classic American songs like "Oh Susanna." And quite a few others.
All my favorites. I don't know a single one.
He died in his 30s. They don't know if some people say he killed himself. Some people they don't know what that was all about. A suspicious death, and some people thought he was racist. His song lyrics, and some people thought the opposite. Like "My Old Kentucky Home" is an anti-slavery song. Oh. So who knows? But they sing "My Old Kentucky Home" and. It's just, tons of celebrities at this race. I mean,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, you name it. Like Aaron Rodgers, Brady always go. You see Gronk there. George Clooney, a lot of times I think he's from Kentucky. George Clooney was actually grew up in Kentucky.
I want to go.
But tons of celebrities there.
I think when I first met Tom, I think I told him that my dream is to go to the Masters and the Kentucky Derby, and I will go to one of them before I die.
You have a long way to go.
I know, but I'll go.
So
the Masters is hard to get into.
I can't believe it is hard to get Masters tickets. You have to. It's a lottery.
Unless you're going to be able to walk around quite a bit that hill.
Right.
That lets me out right there. I'd rather, I want to go see that bad. I want to see, but
they take your phone too.
Yeah, but
No
the other thing too, you can only last on 2 different holes, and I like seeing all the action.
Right.
I'd rather I wouldn't.
Or Waste Management would be fun to go to too.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit more.
Yeah, probably that won't be the one. I'd have to go see when your mobility isn't quite there. You sit in the stands and throw beer up.
We're gonna go over some of the horses in the race.
Yeah.
And see what you guys think.
It's a 1 and 6.
Let's start with the favorites. The favorite is a horse named Journalism. He's 3-1 on what they call the morning line odds. The odds change as people bet. So he won't go off 3-1. He'll probably be lower. But he's raced 5 times in his life and won 4. He's a California horse. Give you a little horse racing knowledge that you don't care about.
Santa Anita, right?
Like the horses sometimes, like California horses, don't always like the eastern tracks because the surfaces are different, or vice versa. So like some horses come from the east and go to California and are better or worse.
Right.
So I mean he has never raced at this track is called Churchill Downs where they race the Kentucky Derby. So. But he's looked really good. The second favorite is a horse I like named Sovereignty. He's 5-1. He's raced 5 times in his life and won 2 and second twice. He's what they call a deep closer. Like he comes from far back.
Okay.
And this is a long race.
Those are the best.
Yeah, this is a long.
This is the longest of the races.
Yeah, this is a long race. No horse in the race has ever gone this far. It's a 1.25 mile race. So that's an issue with these are young horses racing 1.25 miles.
They're all 3 years old, right?
They're all 3 years old, correct?
Oh, every horse has to be 3 years old?
Yeah.
You have to be 3.
Uh-huh.
So,
damn, good.
I know my
never
shit,
even
Joe.
knew that. Jesus Christ.
I get random facts off the internet. There's this one famous TikToker that I watch, and he has a horse named Sandman, and his odds aren't that great. But he's in. Apparently,
he
he's
was
in
6-1. I think.
he's 6-1.
Oh, he
He's
is.
choice.
But he's
Yeah.
in gate 17, and I guess never in Kentucky Derby history has a horse come out of gate 17-1.
I was just going to talk about Sandman. It's
Really?
funny.
Okay.
He's run 8 times in his life. He's won 3.
I got a whole printout of all this crap. I'll bring it to one of
Text me which one you pick. I'll bet on
I don't
one.
know if you care about this. A lot of people who bet do. He's gray. A lot of people like to bet gray horses.
He is gray, right? Yeah. With like tan hair, kind of. Tannish gray.
His trainer has won the Belmont and the Preakness, which are the next two big races, but never the Kentucky Derby. So he does have a good trainer.
So he'd have a Triple Crown, the trainer.
Well, not in the same year, but he
I
would
know,
have won
but at
all
least
3.
he can say he won all 3.
So Sandman is the third favorite, 6-1. The next favorite is a horse called Rodriguez. He's 2 for 5 lifetime. He's trained by Bob Baffert, who's a Hall of Fame trainer who was banned from this race for 3 years.
Why?
For drugs. Those horses.
Yeah.
Oh, he drugged the horse?
Well, his horse is tested positive. He denies it.
How do you get a horse to pee in a cup? You just hold it.
It's not hard. They piss like racehorses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they are. Well, they are.
You know what I've seen though?
Yeah,
This is not a joke though.
So they drug test the horses?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that makes so much
hell
sense,
yeah.
but I never thought
I
about
used to own
it.
racehorses.
yeah.
I had some world champion horses in another life, and after the race, like you had to go right in there.
So what do you give a horse to make it go faster? A steroid or something? Or
Cocaine.
Really? No, you're lying. What do you
No,
feed it
I'm
a brick?
I'm not
Here,
lying.
I can
chow
sit-
down, buddy. Mix it in with
consider-
the hay.
There are horses that
I think
tested
they
positive
do.
for cocaine.
They did.
Shut up.
They do give them cocaine.
Oh,
I'm telling
boy.
you.
But what they usually
lying.
give is stuff. They give them like they blood dope them, like to stuff to make them be able to carry their wind further. That's why you guys kicked my butt in the 5K. I ran out of wind after like a minute.
I need to do another one of those. I'm going to look into those. I ran 6 miles the other day just for fun.
Wow. Oh, that's pretty impressive. 5K.
Well, it was a run walk situation. It wasn't like full speed ahead the whole time. I'm going to need some drugs for that.
But
You know,
they
you're going to have to
keep
steroid me up if you want me to run the whole time.
They used to
But
give steroids, and like I had this one horse that it used to be legal, and they put him on steroids, and like I took my girlfriend and her mother I said, you could bet this horse he's not going to lose, and he won the race, and we go get our picture taken, and the horse was like, it was like roid rage, like the horse was like, he won I guess the steroids worked.
there you go.
What was his odds? This guy at 5-2 that's got 2 wins. What were his odds?
Sovereignty 5-1.
Oh, he's 5-1.
Which one do you
So
think
we're
you're going to bet
1 to
on?
3. I was going to do all over the 3.
The problem with
I was
sovereignty
gonna
is-
What do you do on Hard Rock app or like?
No.
we go to the-
I'll go to One-Eyed Jackson
And do it there?
advance bet. Yeah.
Yeah, we give a shout out to One-Eyed
I'll
Jackson,
do like
Sarasota.
I'll
You
do
go,
like
let
an
me know.
exacta box. Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna go Saturday afternoon.
Oh yes.
What time do the horses go off at? Do you know?
The
Not
race
till
goes
s-
off at 6:57 on
We'll
Saturday.
probably be
You
there
can
like
bet it. You could even
3
bet
in the
it Friday.
afternoon.
Right.
Go to the bar and just bet.
It's gonna be packed there.
I
Advance betting.
know. It is going to be packed.
That's all right. You go to the bar and have a couple of drinks, a sandwich, and,
There you
throw
go.
a bet in.
So Rodriguez is 12-1. Another horse, Burnham Square, is 12-1. He's 3 for 6 life. He's another horse that likes to run far, so he might like the longer race. I mentioned Sovereignty. I like in Burnham
I don't
Square.
think that number 1 horse wins. I'm going to be a hater and say he doesn't win. I think the whole East Coast, West Coast situation and the far distance thing, it's not sounding good. I'm liking Sandman.
There's a Japanese horse in the race, Admire Daytona.
We love a foreigner.
So, we had that Florida
And
connection.
they're saying that Baea, did he get in the BA?
How do you get into the Kentucky Derby? You got to win a certain amount of stuff, or
First of all, you have to put up money like in stages. Like you have to keep making payments
To the
for a
Kentucky
year.
Derby.
Yeah, like it starts out like a low amount and it keeps getting higher as you get closer to the race.
So-
but you also have to because they only allow 20 horses in the race.
right?
So you have to qualify by winning like races leading up to it, and each of these races have like Kentucky Derby points. Like the bigger the race you win,
Got
the
it.
more point, or you get a second or a third. And
So you lose. People lose money on this all the time because they just don't qualify and they don't
most,
give. They
most
don't,
of the horses are owned by billionaires.
right.
Like you don't see it's what they
A
call
lot
a
of
sport
them
of kings.
split the horses though. Like I know this TikTok kid with Sandman doesn't own 100% of this horse. He probably splits it with a bunch of people. You think?
It's usually multiple people on a horse, like not one person.
Got it.
Like a lot of times it's groups of 4.
Yeah, that'll.
What's stopping me from going and getting a little pony and raising it to be this amazing
I used to
Kentucky
go,
Derby winner?
I used to go to the sales, and they call it yearling sales. Like horses start racing when they're 2 years old. So yearling sale, they're 1 year old, and we would go by, and you base on the breeding. Like if their father was a really good horse, it's going to cost more, or if their mother
Got it.
and father were good, and there's a whole lot that goes into it. Like, and we would go look at the horses in the farm before the sale. Like my partners and I would go there and see how they looked in the field, how they stood, how they ran. I mean, our trainer was the expert.
They go to the bathroom.
So these horses are really only good for 2 years. They race from
no,
2
you
to
can
3.
race, no, they can race longer than that.
Just not the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby, you're only 3.
I never knew you could only be 3 years old.
But there's big races for horses as they get older, and they mature. They're better, even like 4, 5-year-old. Like usually, most experts would probably say a horse matures at like 5.
What's their lifespan?
It depends on the horse. Like sometimes you'll hear that a really good horse died at like 13, but I would say the average horse is about 20. If I had to ballpark it,
That's okay. So a little bit more than a
And they
dog.
go live on a
20 years,
farm.
like human years.
Sometimes
not
it doesn't
dog
end
years.
well. Like they get sold to slaughter if they're not that good, and it's
Or if they
unfortunate.
get like a broken leg or something, they shoot
put
them.
down,
Yeah.
put them down.
I had horses that broke legs in the race, had to be put down. It was very upsetting to me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And I had horses that I had owned years before, and I would get phone calls from like these animal rights groups saying, "Look, this horse is about to be slaughtered. You owned him 10 years ago. Would you save him? Just give us $1,000 and we'll save him." And I was doing it for a while, but then they kept calling me. I'm like, I can't save every horse I ever owned. I mean, I owned hundreds of horses in my life. It would just be impossible.
Right.
I said, I feel terrible, but
You start going broke.
yeah, I know.
I wouldn't
it is.
have any money
But
to
there-
bet on.
You would have, and I remember one horse. I'll tell you a funny story, true story. I bought this horse named New Bucks. He had been a world champion for another trainer years before, and I see him racing these cheap races, like low-level races, and I'm looking at it, and I'm betting him, and he's winning. I'm looking at him. I'm not the expert. I'm like, he looks good. And now he ended up with a bad trainer in like low-level races. So I buy him for $5,000. And I send him my trainer, who's one of the best ever, all-time legendary trainer. And I said, look, if you tell me he's no good, I'll just cut it off and lose the $5,000. He said, give me a couple of days. He calls me in a couple of days and he goes, I don't know why he was racing in such garbage races. There's nothing wrong with him. I love him. Just give me time. So he puts him in a race, higher level. I bet it. You could bet your house on. I bet him he wins by a mile. We keep raising him up to better horses, and he keeps winning. And then finally, somebody bought him. I made like a tremendous profit off him, but I always loved New Bucks. I would go see him at the barn. He knew me.
Oh.
So anyway, long story short, his career ends, and I buy him back for like $1,000, not to race, just to save him. And I see that there's a city in New Jersey that has mounted police, and I call up and I'm like, I would like to donate New Bucks to be a mounted. And he goes, we don't just take any horse. He goes, we'll take him for 2 weeks, and if we feel he can handle it, we'll accept him. It's like your kid getting into college. So I said, okay. So they take him. 2 weeks later, the lieutenant calls me and he goes, we've accepted New Bucks into the mounted police program. I'm like so proud, and then
Right.
So then one day, somebody died, like a politician. They were having like a funeral procession, and there's all the mounted police. So I decide I'm going to go visit New Bucks in that procession, and I go there, and he's got the officer on him. He's all dressed up, nice. The officer has a uniform on, and he recognized me.
Oh, wait, that's so cute.
I walk up and he starts like jumping up and down. I'm like,
That's so
hey,
cute.
buddy. He
New
remembered me.
Bucks.
Yeah, but I love that. He wasn't my best horse. He wasn't my best horse, but I love New Bucks. They are beautiful animals. Like, I mean,
I like
to be
horses.
around them, like, and there's this whole thing. Have you ever heard of? I'm not a doctor by any means. I have no medical training, like horse therapy. Like
Yeah.
Some people have problems. They have them go once a week or hang out with horses, and it helps them get over their emotional issues. Like, I understand that. Like, there are probably some people, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I lived on a golf course growing up, and I was fully convinced that my dad was going to buy me a horse and put it in my backyard. And I thought in my 4-year-old head that was possible to have this giant-ass horse in my backyard on this golf course. It never happened, obviously, but I fully thought I was going to have a
I
horse.
was going to pitch for the Yankees.
Yeah.
So again, even if people who don't care about horse racing, which is probably the majority nowadays, if you have nothing to do on Saturday at like 6:45, turn on the Kentucky Derby and or even 6:30, watch the preliminary stuff.
Crack open a bourbon
Yeah,
and watch the Kentucky Derby.
So Molly, last week we're going to shift gears to this little negative stuff. We talked about Shannon Sharp.
Oh, I saw that, you guys. Give me an update now.
All right, so these women are coming forward. I guess lawsuits are being filed.
Multiple women?
Yeah.
On Shannon?
Yeah.
I know about the one on the phone call. He's like, I'm going to choke you. And she goes, I don't know how that's going to,
They were up to 3. They up above that now?
No shit.
He hasn't been fired by ESPN. He's just taking like a little bit of a leave until the NFL starts.
Until people forget about him, and then they'll fire him. Right.
I guess one thing I read today is that 2 women have, he's been arrested for battery twice before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Once in 95 and once. Now, you know, a lot of these battery arrests, it's like the woman hits the guy first. Like, you don't know all the I'm not defending. I'm not taking sides in this.
I'm in the same boat because with the phone call, the one that the one girl recorded, regardless, I've joked around with friends and been like, oh, I'm going to kill you, or, stuff like that. Obviously, I don't know if he was joking or not, but you can't you don't know the context of things with stuff like that.
I do like the fact that I'm not taking his side. That I like the fact that he's not fired yet, because so many times, like, you see a celebrity get in trouble and they're immediately fired.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't want to deal with it.
Their sponsors abandon them. You know, like if one of my employees got in trouble, I wouldn't just fire them that day. I would say, let's see what happened.
Yeah.
First of all, I know my employees would never do anything like this.
Right.
Except maybe to me.
Remember Matt Lauer? That was my mother died when that happened.
My sister loved Matt Lauer.
Oh, God.
He was the host of Today Show.
Oh, okay.
He and Katie Couric were the main 2.
Yeah, my sister was a big fan.
I've never even heard of these 2.
No, I have no idea. Literally have no clue.
Shannon Sharp was a great football player. He's a tight end for the Denver Broncos, but he's really gone way beyond that between his, ESPN and he has a podcast. So
didn't she want $50 million?
Well, I
don't even think he has $50 million.
No, he does.
You think he has that much?
I would say he does. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I'm not doubting that, but he'd have to sell everything to be, maybe his net worth is $50 million, but I don't think he has $50 million to go give somebody.
Well, I don't think he's going to want to do that.
I think the girl's shooting for the stars with that, but
so we'll see what happens with that. That's a story that's going to be going on for probably a year,
right,
or more. New Jersey wildfires. There's been wildfires.
I know. I saw that too. Thankfully, it's not by any
still
houses.
Going on.
Yeah,
it's a rural area of southern New Jersey,
right?
But there's a lot of open land there. That's we talked last week about California wildfires are going forever. Texas wildfires. Canadian wildfires, New Jersey What's next? I mean, we're going to get Florida wildfires?
I think we'll just stick with the hurricanes. I don't want to deal with the fires.
Hurricane specialists.
Right.
NFL, NBA playoffs are going on. We talked about it. Like some of these series the Indiana Pacers beat the Milwaukee Bucks 4-1, so they move on to the second round.
I was kind of shocked at that they blew them out that handily.
Celtics destroyed the Magic.
Wasn't shocked about that.
The Cleveland Cavaliers destroyed Miami.
I was just about to say that. I saw that game.
They won by the most one-sided playoff game in the history of the NBA. They won by like 55 points.
It was crazy.
Wow.
The Lakers are in trouble. They're down 3-1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
They play tonight.
Yeah. One team I really like tonight is Golden State is up 3-1 against Houston. Golden State could go far. Golden State, they got Jimmy Butler. And he's hurt. He played hurt and had a really good game the last game.
Curry.
Steph Curry's insane. You like his wife. She makes tons of money.
She's cool. She's cooks.
Shout out to Steph.
Right. Yeah. Alicia.
What do we got? Denver Nuggets are up 3-2 on LA Clippers. The Knicks are up 3-2 on Detroit, but they lost. They could have wrapped it up in New York last night. They lost. Hockey. The big series is the Battle of Florida. Florida Panthers are defending NHL champs against Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa better win tonight.
Yeah, they're down 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Are they at?
It's at Tampa tonight. Well, they were ahead. They were ahead in the last game.
Yeah, it was 2-1, and then I blinked my eyes, and they got two goals.
In 11 seconds,
yeah, it was crazy.
Jeez. So,
are you gonna go to any of those games?
I have tickets for Game 7, but they'd have to win the next 2 in a row
to even make it.
They'd have to win tonight.
Yeah.
They play tonight, then they play Friday night in South Florida.
Who you taking to Game 7, Tom? Joe and I? Your 2 favorite co-hosts?
Maybe we will.
You shouldn't have.
So
See, I'm helping you out here. Hop on.
I like well, we always have fun going to those games.
Yeah.
So much fun. I always get drunk at the games.
Go to the Yard House. Shout out to the Yard
I
House.
know, that was so fun.
Yeah, that was good.
The food's good at Yard House too. I like the food there.
Good.
Yeah.
I know I ate like a pig.
But we'll.
I probably did. When I'm drunk, see you later. I'm eating everything.
These early rounds of basketball and hockey playoffs are hard to get really fired up.
Yeah.
You know, because they're so long. They have so far to go.
Right.
So we're going to make.
You got to figure a couple of them are going to go 7 games.
I hope.
Well, I think the Clippers and who do you call it going to go 7. Is that next one at the Clippers? It's 3-2, right?
Denver's ahead 3-2.
Yeah, but then probably this game will be where the Clippers in L.A.
So to wrap up, I gave you my Kentucky Derby pick is number 18, Sovereignty. I'll give you some names, and you guys pick a name that you like.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, you don't really want to bet numbers 1 and 2 because what happens, they get pinned in. But I'll give you can if you want.
Okay.
Number 1 is called Citizen Bull. Number 2, I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's Neoquos. Number 3, Final Gambit. 4 is Rodriguez. 5 is American Promise. 6 is Admire Daytona. 7 is Luxor Cafe. 8 is The Favorite Journalism. 9 is Burnham Square. 10 is Grande. Didn't you say you liked Grande, Joe? 11 is Flying Mohawk. 12 is East Avenue. 13 is Publisher. 14 is Tiz-tastic. 15 is Render Judgment. I guess we got that legal angle there. 16 is Coal Battle. 17 is Sandman. 18 Sovereignty. 19 Chunk of Gold. 20 Owen Almighty. 21 Baeza.
Is that 21 is 21 definitely in?
I don't think 21 is in unless somebody's scratched.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 17, which is Sandman, and then I liked number 7, the name. It was funny. So I'm going to go with those 2.
All right. Joe, any picks?
Lock me in.
I'm just doing journalism, all
No,
journalism.
Baeza's not in. You're right. He's out. Number 7 was Luxor Cafe.
Yeah.
Actually has a shot 15-1.
I like Luxor
My big
Cafe.
bet,
It's a casino in Vegas, the Luxor.
Really?
It's got the Egyptian.
I liked the name.
I'm putting the guy that's 3-1 on top, and I'm putting him in second.
Journalism.
Just
Journalism.
$5.
Some people think
$5 exacta. bet.
journalism is like a
Box it.
special horse.
That's what
I mean, it remains to be seen. Like he's only lost 1 time, and it was his first ever. A lot of times horses lose their first lifetime race, even like because they don't really know what they're doing. Like Secretariat was one of the greatest of all time, lost his first lifetime race. So you kind of give him a pass. So other than that, he's been perfect. So it'll be interesting, but it's going to be. I really enjoy it. You know, I'm going to make sure I get my little nappy nap so I'm all ready to go.
Yeah, no going crazy too early at Hooters. You got to make it.
That's right.
All right?
Gonna have gas in the
I'm
tank.
going right from the golf course right to One-Eye
boy.
Jacks.
I work every Saturday. And
I
then
go from
have my
Serenoa to
nappy nap.
One-Eye Jacks.
I like Serenoa.
Shout out to One-Eye Jacks. They have horse racing and poker.
Didn't know this place existed until I met Tom and Joe.
Corrupted you like right out of the
Now I
gate.
know.
You'll find a lot of weird places.
But we're going to go. It's time for Tominator lunch, Molly.
There you go.
We're hungry. Thanks a lot, you guys, for
All right.
coming. And we'll
Thank
see
you.
everybody next week.
Yep.
Okay.